Oh, this is Zdenka. Let's compare these latest smartphone gimbals. DJI OM7P versus Insta360 Flow 2 Pro versus Hohem iSteady V3 and M7 with iPhone 16 Pro and Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. This video is not sponsored by anyone. In fact, I can say it's sponsored by me, as I will be mentioning my ZD Creator Academy throughout the video. I'm not gonna lie, I'm feeling a little bit nervous about making this video. This year, for some reason, I feel a huge competition between all these smartphone gimbals. Let's take a look at all these gimbals. I have to make something very clear. Hohem iSteady M7 should not be really included in this comparison video. But I included it because many of you requested it. As you can see, it's much bigger gimbal and heavier. It is suitable for advanced filming, as you can load it with lots of accessories, heavy filters, and lenses. It's not as compact. These gimbals are smaller and very light, ideal for travel and daily life, as you can fit them anywhere. You can use them with very light filters and perhaps very light lenses if you can balance them. Let's sort them from the heaviest to the lightest. I weigh them myself with the phone clamp and AI trackers attached. Hohem iSteady M7 weighs 789 grams and the maximum payload is 500 grams. It takes roughly 3 hours to fully charge this gimbal, and it will give you roughly 12 hours if it is balanced properly and stationary, 8 hours with AI tracking, and 3 to 4 hours with AI tracking and light on at the same time. This gimbal also has a detachable remote. Hohem iSteady V3 weighs 420 grams and the maximum payload is 300 grams. It takes about 2.5 hours to charge, and it will give you roughly 13 hours of runtime. If you use AI tracker and light, you will get 4 to 5 hours. This one has a detachable remote. Insta360 Flow 2 Pro weighs 392 grams, maximum payload is 300 grams. Charging time is 2 hours and runtime is 10 hours. It was measured with the tracking ring light off. DJI OM7P weighs 369 grams and the maximum payload is 300 grams. It takes about 2.5 hours to fully charge, and it will give you up to 10 hours of runtime. It was measured without using an AI tracker or light. They all have extendable selfie sticks, and these 3 have built-in tripods. If you want to mount a heavy-duty tripod or mount it to a monopod, you can. They all have a port at the bottom. I can feel all the brains right now working all those numbers. Let's jump into practical tests. The first one is stabilization, and right after we will do all tracking tests. When it comes to stabilization tests, I did the typical hard regular walk, then heel to toe soft walk you would use for filming to avoid the up and down movement, and regular run. Now, it's the end of February. It was pretty difficult to find a surface where there is no snow, so keep that in mind. It's not that scenic, it's not a location I would choose in the first place. It is strictly for the stabilization test. I did all the tests using the native camera app on both phones. I selected lock mode on the gimbal as I was walking in a straight line. I see slight differences on the iPhone. It's a little bit harder to see that on the S25 Ultra. I guess it says a lot about that phone. Here is a list from the least stable to most stable from what I see. What I want you to do is also judge on your own. Feel free to leave a comment below because I might have been wrong. It's pretty difficult to kind of see the differences. iPhone 16 Pro goes first. Let's switch the phones. Here are the same tests in native camera app on Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. Before I continue, give it a thumbs up if you are enjoying this video so far, and consider subscribing for similar content like this, as it really helps the channel. Thank you very much for your support. When it comes to tracking, I don't even know where to start. Each gimbal has different features and options. What is the same for all the gimbals is that they all have AI tracking sensors, so you can track with any phone in any app. Also, they all have advanced tracking in their official apps. Here is the order from the basic tracking to the most advanced tracking. Hohem iSteady V3 is the first one, as it has the most basic features when it comes to tracking. Let's test the AI tracker sensor that also has a light in the native camera app. The gestures controls are the OK sign for start tracking, hand to stop tracking, thumbs to the right, switch to landscape, both thumbs up, switch to portrait. This gesture is for shutter control, and double L for recomposing the shot. Let's test single person tracking and person in the group tracking. This gimbal doesn't track all 360 degrees, there is a limitation, and the sensor only tracks a person. Let's go to Hohem Joy app and test tracking there. You can use gestures here as well. You can track a person, pet, and object. You cannot reframe the tracking, it will always be in a center. The next one is Hohem iSteady M7. It is very similar to V3. The AI tracker also has a light, and they both share the same app. The difference is that you cannot use gestures to switch between landscape and horizontal mode. If you want to film in vertical mode, you have to turn off the gimbal and install the phone in vertical mode. The tracker also has built-in preview camera, so when you swipe on the remote, you can see yourself for better framing, especially if you are filming with rear camera. This AI tracker also offers pet and object tracking, as you can select the object on the remote. This gimbal tracks all around 360 degrees. So let's quickly test the AI sensor tracking. I am not going to do Hohem Joy tracking again, as I already did that with V3. It is the same. The next gimbal is DJI OM7P. This whole module has AI tracker, light, and also built-in receiver, so you can use DJI Mic Mini with it. The gestures are show palm for start and stop tracking. The next gesture is to start and stop recording. Hohem gimbals didn't have that, you would use their detachable remote instead. The double L gesture is for reframing. You can track only a person with AI tracker. You can change the follow speed in the settings. This gimbal doesn't track all around 360 degrees. There is a limitation. Let's run all tests. DJI Mimo app offers more features when it comes to tracking. You can track a person, pet, or object. You can reframe the shot with a joystick. You can also track a group of people and select a specific person within the group. Gestures for start and stop shooting are available. If you own Apple Watch, you can see the tracking preview on the watch. If you are brand new into smartphone filmmaking, you might want to consider checking out my ZD Creator Academy, as you can work with me there directly. It is a private online community where you will access the smartphone filmmaking course. It's a straight to the point, full course with quizzes and assignments that I review and provide feedback. Another course available is Secrets to Growing a Successful YouTube Channel. New lessons are added weekly. If you have questions and need help, you can send me a quick message through chat, or you can meet me on Zoom. I hold group tutoring sessions twice a week. You can always post links to your videos and YouTube channel for a review and access my LUTs and presets library, all in one place. The link to ZD Creator Academy is below for those interested. The most advanced tracking and the most options when it comes to tracking offers Insta360 Flow 2 Pro. All phones, Apple phones and Android have the option to use a tracking module that also has a light. It was just released a few days ago. You can track in the Insta360 app. The remote is available on the smartwatch, and if you have an Apple phone, you can also use Apple Docket tracking. The gimbal can track all around 360 degrees. Let's test the AI tracker first. It has two gestures, palm for start and stop tracking and peace sign for start and stop recording. You can also enable tracking with the trigger on the gimbal, and if you need to reframe the shot, you can do that with the joystick. You can track only a person. The next tracking is via the Insta360 app. You can track a person, pet, horse, object, group, and person within the group, while the group stays within the frame. As I mentioned earlier, you can use the watch for previewing and enabling tracking, or you can connect another phone that can serve as a remote. There are 3 tracking options. Tracking Plus is only to be used with a tripod for tracking for long periods. Active zoom tracking allows tracking up to 15 times zoom. The last option is Pro Framing Grid. You can click on any square to automatically adjust framing. You can also reframe the shot with a joystick. Let's mention the multi-person tracking. Once you enable that, Everyone will be framed in the shot. Nobody will be cut out. You can also select a specific person within the group as the main subject. The last option when it comes to tracking is for Apple users only, and that is through the Apple Dock Kit. The feature works through an NFC connection. You can track in any app. The tracking is a little bit slower, so for fast tracking, I would use the Insta360 app. It is just another option if you don't have the tracker. It's a long video today, right? Well, there is simply so much to cover. Testing and writing the script for this video took a couple of days. What is important to know is the range of the movement when you are filming. I'm going to go from the smallest range to the biggest one once again. I will try my best to explain it super simple. Hohem iSteady V3 has limitations when it comes to tilt movement. The pen is not continuous 360 degrees, and the roll movement is also limited. The same goes for DJI OM7P, the same limitations. Tilt is limited, and pen is not continuous 360 degrees, roll is also smaller. Insta360 Flow 2 Pro is next. The pen motor has continuous 360 degrees movement. The tilt movement has been solved by using a specific tilt filming mode. You have to adjust the gimbal manually to film there. The roll movement is not continuous but has a bigger range, almost 1.5 rotations. The most freedom when it comes to movements will give you Hohem iSteady M7. The pen movement is continuous 360 degrees. There is no restriction. You don't have to adjust the tilt manually, it has very big range. It has a standard roll movement, and if you want continuous roll, you would select Vortex mode. Let's mention some unique features in their official apps, and then I'll share my thoughts on all these gimbals. Hohem Joy app offers lots of gimbal settings. You can also live stream with the app, and it offers a good selection of pre-designed templates. There is also a built-in video editor where you can edit yourself or use one of the pre-designed templates. DJI Mimo is available in the Apple Store. If you are an Android user, you will not find it in Google Store. It is only available on their website. A unique feature is Parents and Kids mode. It has shot guides for beginners where you can select a template and follow the movement. It has a good amount of story templates. You just select one, follow instructions, and it will edit the whole thing together with music. It has a built-in video editor where you can edit yourself, use templates, or one-tap edit. You just select the clips and it will automatically edit for you. Insta360 app lets you live stream. Hoop mode is a unique feature, widescreen recording, ability to film in ProRes, HDR, and lock. Panophoto and teleprompter as well. It has a built-in video editor. You can auto-edit there, use a pre-designed template, and many AI effects. Let's wrap it up. All gimbals you see here are great. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, if you are into advanced filming, want to load up the gimbal with heavy lenses and filters, or want complete creative control, Hohem iSteady M7 it is. I love using it for that specific purpose. It is a heavy gimbal though, and big. If you ask me to point out something I don't like on this gimbal, it is the weight and size. Otherwise, for advanced filming is a total game changer. Everything can be customized there. You have the freedom to use it with a monopod, as you can select custom lock mode. If you are into travel, filming your daily life, or something for social media, or simply want something light and small and compact, then one of those 3 gimbals it is. Insta360 Flow 2 Pro is the most advanced gimbal right now, and they are developing the product on the go, as you can see with the addition of the AI tracker. Is there something I don't like on the gimbal? Well, it has a super modern design, so it took me a while to get used to the control wheel. I prefer the display where I can clearly see the modes, so I find it a little bit harder to get used to. DJI OM7P is following the lead, mainly with the ability to use their DJI Mic Mini. I like that their products work with one another. The whole ecosystem is great. Is there anything I don't like? The tilt movement is limited a bit, and when you connect the microphone via cable, the cable is a bit in a way. Hohem iSteady V3 is more general, but has the detachable remote. That can be a huge bonus for some. There are only two things I'm not a fan of. The clamp is small. When I use it with my reflex case over the phone, I have to always make sure it is all the way in. It's tight. I also don't like the switch between the landscape and horizontal mode gestures. When I call my parents, I always forget to remove the AI tracker, and then as I'm waving my hands, I enable tracking, then I wave my hand again and now it goes this way, then I have to put it back again to the landscape mode. They laugh, but otherwise I've been using it quite a bit. So there you have it. Again, I believe these are great products. All of them are listed below the video in the video description, so you can check out the current pricing. I've had a great relationship with all those brands. They have super friendly people. You need to decide what is best for you and what features you need. Always check the compatibility list to make sure it is going to work well with the type of the phone you have. Let me know in the comments below what gimbal would be your choice. Give it a thumbs up if you found this helpful, subscribe for more, and I'll see you in one of those videos next. Ciao, ahoj!